Hello. Okay, so this is a recording of Ancient Dungeon VR. I'm still relatively new to the game, so I haven't done all that much, but I have done some. So while we're getting started, I'll explain the basic premise. So, to begin with, I have noticed that there aren't very many videos of the Ancient Dungeon on YouTube. So, while I understand that my channel's content isn't going to be the best, I hope that you can watch it and provide some constructive criticism, if you choose to. With that being said, I will begin the run of Ancient Dungeon VR. Apologies for any inconsistencies, as I'm still relatively new to YouTube, and this is my first time actually recording a video in VR. So, if you choose to leave, I do not hold it against you. So, to begin with, I have the crossbow, and I am much better at it than the sword. So, Ancient Dungeon, roguelike. That's the majority of what you need to know. Simply a roguelike in VR. The crossbow bolt returns faster the closer you are to it. You get one bolt, it returns automatically. You need keys to open locked chests or doors, as well as a few other things. There's also a good bit of relics which you can get to permanently unlock, well, not permanently, but unlock items further on. Okay, what this is a trapped chest. What you get is just like a key or a few coins, then enemies spawn. The enemies that spawn are random, and after you kill them, you get an item. In this case, melee strikes do a small amount of damage to nearby enemies. While I will be going for ranged build, I will take that relic as it does help. And there's no limit to the amount of relics you can have. However, if I got a relic that damages me when I pick up relics, I would not take that, as you would not want to sacrifice a heart of HP for extra melee damage in your ranged build. As such, you wouldn't take it. So, I apologize for not being in the camera mode, but I don't know how to activate it. You have 3 health. Well, 3 hearts. 6 HP, if you count the amount of hits you need to take the damage. You can also parry projectiles. And I missed. So, apologies for the lack of conversation. Your damage is okay. This one. Your damage is drastically increased, but it alternates between your primary and secondary weapon. I would recommend not getting this. This one increases melee range damage after completing it. This is good to get in the early game, like right now, as it increases you more over time. That was a dual pedestal. In dual pedestals, you can choose one and the other one gets, or it disappears rather. There we go. Okay. Oh, apple. This restores 1 heart. I have 3, as you can see. Each hit deals half of a heart. That should be all the basics of Ancient Dungeon. In the next run, we won't be doing any of the exploring, but it will still be a separate video. I have completed this game. Well, I have completed a run in this game, a total of 4 times. So, I have been getting better, as I have started a run a total of 30 times. This is normal mode, but there is a harder mode. The hard mode is exclusive to after you beat the game a few times. You do need to be careful, as you can customize the hard mode. And the harder you make it, the more Beast Blood you get. You get Beast Blood by defeating the final boss of it. I won't be giving any spoilers as to what the final boss is, but let's just say it's difficult. This is Spike Grass. If you walk through it without chopping it, it will hurt you. This is likely going to be the King Slime mini boss, which the crossbow is great for, as it has explosive properties. And this King Slime mini boss, whenever you hit it, pops out slimes. So the best way to deal with it is to have a lot of area of effect, which the crossbow is particularly good at, as its strikes always cause an explosion. So, I earned an achievement. I'm pretty sure that was for beating the first floor without taking damage. Pretty good. Alright, so since I didn't take any damage, I get a potato. You get a potato no matter what with the upgrades I have. When hit, nearby enemies are knocked back. I will take that. So, there are two different options for flares after you unlock it. There's a upgrade system after you beat each floor, after you finish each run. This is the much harder sewers. Meanwhile, this is the infected dungeon. Infested, yeah. I will be doing the infested dungeon in this run, but if I get even a single comment telling me to do the sewers next run, I will. So just let me know, and I'll do my best to accommodate. I'd also like to do the series next run, as it's relatively fun too. Oh, this is a mark. You kill enemies to charge the mark. This one is a gambler's mark. What it does is make it rare. Whenever you use it, either you heal 1 heart, or you take half a heart of damage. So while this isn't a very good relic, or a mark rather, as it has a chance to harm you, it is still useful, as it could heal. So I will take it in case of absolute emergency. I would rather swap it out whenever available though. Also, if you want, this game also has multiplayer. That is a wall bomb. What you need to do is take care of those from a distance. Okay, so. Oh, also, you have 2 arm slots, which let you hold items. And you also have 2 hand slots. You can actually use the crossbow and hand slot at the same time, so long as you do it in a special rack. Just gotta wait for those particles to disappear as they do damage you. I'm also playing this on minimum brightness, so it's kind of creepy. This game's just naturally a little bit spooky because, honestly, you can be jump scared by an enemy backstabbing you. Oh, this gives me 25 gold coins, which can be used at the merchant. Typically there's a merchant on every floor, and it's always close to the boss door. Last time we didn't get it because we rushed through. This time, I hope we will. Oh, we can't actually get back up there. Meaning that the boss door is down here. Somewhere. So I actually like it when that happens, as it tells you exactly where the boss door is, gives you a hint. It makes it where you don't need to search the entirety of the dungeon. What I just did was eat a potato by dragging it to my mouth since I took damage there, as evidenced by the rat. And in exchange, I get an unstable herb. What this does is cause an explosion. Now, I'd actually much rather have an apple in my hand than an unstable herb, because the herbs explode when they get hit, but the apples are just fine unless you bring them to your mouth. So, I'd much rather have something that won't explode and make me lose it, in my hand, because while it's in the arm slot, it cannot explode. That you can get back up because of the ladder, so I was not afraid of dropping down at all. Enemies don't have the best pathfinding and typically will not drop down in order to get to you. However, you can use that to your advantage. They also cannot climb ladders. Okay, in this case I just have to let the potato go, as I can't do anything with it at all. Huh, strange. As I already have all of my hands full. Speaking of, you can actually throw yourself up a ladder with one hand so that you can keep both hands with stuff, like I just did. So despite me only having no hands free, I can still use a hand to climb up the ladder. There's also, as you saw, cracks in doors sometimes, or cracks in walls. If you find a crack in a wall, you can likely use that crack and break it. If you break a crack in a wall, it leads to a secret room. Those secret rooms often contain goodies or rest areas, so you want to do that whenever possible. They don't often contain enemies, but you should be careful just in case. Oh, this is actually the merchant. Alright, so, this foam bat initially decreases your weapon damage, but when you destroy enemies, it will increase past the original value. I actually like that one quite a bit, but this is new. Food found in rest areas are replaced with relics. Since I'm currently full on food, I will take both of these. And 1 key for 5, but I don't think that's worth it. And if you break anything in here, you will lose your discount. So, now I leave. I've gained plenty from that, as I have gained 2 relics, and while my damage is at 4 right now, defeating enemies will quickly increase it back to its original amount. In addition, these are both for range. This one makes it to projectiles do constant damage while they're in an enemy. That's great for the crossbows, you can't control how long it stays in the enemy, so I'll choose that over the other one. The other one makes it to where whenever you shoot it, it goes much slower and less far, which I don't like. This is the Dream Shroom. What it does is exactly that. It can occasionally dash at you then, so you have to stay on your guard. But yes, it jumps and releases a bunch of spurs that explode. So what you have to do is try to avoid those spurs. As you can see, I'm a relatively good aim with the crossbow, as I can shoot it in midair despite its movement patterns. Oh, spinning. Now, you want to be careful where exactly you move in this, as these projectiles linger a bit longer than you might think they would. So you want to be careful. And wherever the mushroom goes, they release the particles. So you have to be careful of that as well. That time I actually missed, but because the projectile explodes, it still did some damage initially. It just didn't stay embedded. This fight takes a little while, especially with the foam bat we just got that decreases weapon damage. The foam bat would be really good if it was on the King Slime boss, as the King Slime has so many minions that it can easily go back up really fast, and as such you don't have to worry as much about the downside. On the great side of that, however, we haven't lost any health during this fight, despite us dealing significantly less damage than we should. And shoot it again. But yes, it's pretty easy to deal a lot of damage with this. I find it strange that it hasn't one-strike me once. Oh, I missed that time. Oh, got it. So now this is actually the same as the first floor, but others are slightly different. Oh yeah, food put in rest stops is replaced. Fun. Right, this moderately increases all characteristics, but significantly decreases luck. This massively increases critical chance, but incoming damage is sometimes increased. I think I'll go with that one, as it makes it where I deal a lot more damage on occasion, but sometimes the enemies deal such as harm to me. This also does that. If I can get one of the range strikes have a chance to do massively more damage and a crit at the same time, that is extreme. So I have a 50% chance of crit. I think that that's really good, as a 50% crit chance means that you deal double damage most, well, not most, but a lot of the time. See? 8. And that counteracts the foam battle effect. Okay. What's strange is that, well, most enemies here are that you typically find. There's actually one that's pretty unique. That lumbering giant over there is invincible until you parry it. Typically you find them as solitary. Ow. That's not good. Eat that potato. So now, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, got it. Now I swap that so I can use my dagger again. Because I'd much rather have my dagger accessible and have this hand hold the fruit. Holy moly, that's a lot of risks. This is actually great, as the foam bat goes based off of enemies killed. So now I'm back up to 9 damage. And 8 for that one for some reason. 17. Okay. That increases movement speed temporarily. I'd rather not hold it, so I just missed. That's just great. Let's see, what does this do? Miner's Mark. It produces a trail of spikes whenever you use it, which it needs to be charged to use. I'll show you that in a minute. Let me see here. Should it? This also increases the size of melee weapon and produces an herb. I'd rather do this one. So now this short sword is now the size of the typical sword. That's actually quite worth it. Let's see, 12 crossbow damage now, as opposed to the 3 that it started with because of coming back. 23 on crit, which I have pretty often. Oh wow. That laser just killed both of those books. That is actually quite useful for me. Thanks, laser. So, oh, down here. I see no reason not to. Alright, and then shoot this one. Quick second tick. Because of the barbed hook one, I can just wait for the second tick of damage to finish him off. This one. Subsequent areas will contain more chests. I got that on a good bet. Oh, this is good. I gain 1 heart permanently. Now I have 4 instead of 3. Thanks, merchant. That's actually really good. So I'm taking that. It's amazing. It gives you permanent health, and you don't even have to fill it out. Alright. And then in here there are the 4 lasers. As you could see, I took care of them. This increases evasion by a good bit, and this one makes your projectiles turn into more of a gun. So, I much prefer the projectile one. As you can see, it does a lot. And with the crossbow, I'd much rather have that than higher evasion. Especially because that only increases evasion by about 20%, as evasion is typically more powerful, so it goes up less quickly. These teleport slimes are terrible to deal with the melee build, but because I choose range builds most of the time, and the range builds have the explosion when you do it with a crossbow, they're much easier to do. So I'd much rather do those instead of melee builds, especially for this in particular, as this is the perfect way to use it. Let's see, I haven't actually seen this before. Projectile slowly increases in damage. Oh, I see. Projectiles slowly increase in size and damage, but reset after each strike. And this one, I'll do this one. So now they slowly get bigger, and then if I shoot them, they get smaller. Interesting. And it doesn't seem to take too long for them to max out. So I like that one. Oh, Buster! What? Why isn't it opening? That's odd. Let me just... There you go. This is the Rabbit Bestiary. What it does is teleport around. You have to shoot it to stop it from teleporting. And when you shoot it, it teleports. When you don't shoot it, it summons... It continues to do the one attack. And you need to shoot it to stop it from attacking. And to make it teleport. When you deal enough damage, it summons enemies. Okay. We beat that floor pretty easily now. This one, sacrifice all hearts for the same amount of protection. That would be 8 protection hearts. Let's see what else we can get. Sacrifice 1 heart, but you get increased weapon damage. When hit, summon a Wisp. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll take this, so now I have 8 protection hearts. Then I'll take this, so that I have 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. But I deal a lot more damage. So now I deal 22 damage with a 55% crit chance. I'd say that's pretty good. Once more, there's 2 types of floors. The new floor that you unlock is much harder. That's why I'm choosing to go with the normal one, which is this. The Gloaming Mines. Oh, I see. That's strange. So now I can do 48 damage in a single strike. As long as I give it a second to charge up. Wow. Slapped him. So, this is a rock elemental. There's a very similar thing as the chaos elemental, I'd say. In the sense that they launch out projectiles like that, and that they're stopped by walls. However, unlike the chaos elementals, those die very easily to ranged attacks. Either that, or I'm always way too powerful by the time I get here. It's one of those two. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's the second one. Oh, I can teleport straight to the merchant now. As I said, the merchant's always close to the end, so I'd like to do that when possible. Okay. This one makes it where I gain a lot of protection after destroying the next boss, but that boss's attacks are doubled. I will take that. Since I don't have nearly enough to get that, despite it being amazing, I can't get that, so I'm not going to waste time trying to save for it. The apple, it's just an apple. But apples are good. But I just wasted my money because I can't eat anymore. Yeah, I can't eat anymore because I sacrificed my hearts for protection. So I had no reason to carry those. Oh well. Typically you don't want to sacrifice your hearts for protection, but only in scenarios like this, where you're very close to the end, do you want to. As in those scenarios, it's often better. It looks like I can't go back up there, since teleport into the merchant. Holy! I don't know if you saw it, but that slime and those 3 projectiles, they were actually related. When you kill that bone slime with the right in it, that thing right there, it explodes into 3 projectiles. So that's where you saw those. And that happens every time you kill it. as you can see. As long as you're far away and kill it from a range, they don't often damage you too much. Alright. I'm doing a lot of damage this time. Typically you do not do nearly this much. Let's see, what does this do? Temporarily increase damage. I will take that. However, I will not use it for this boss. But for this boss... Or maybe I will. 65. But you move slower. 53. This boss is really a cardio workout, so... Of course, I can still annihilate it. And I got an achievement for something there. Slightly increases range critical chance. I will take that. And then this... Melee strikes cause additional damage after a short delay. When health is low, evasion is massively increased. I will take the health is low evasion, as that is better, as I don't use melee, and will not. Okay, we are actually at the final boss's den right now, the Beast's Cradle. Didn't think we'd get this far. I doubt any of you did either. So now here we go. Our only goal is to beat the Beast. Now it's pretty easy to do so, at least after you've had some experience. As you can see, each phase goes by relatively fast, but the in-between phases are what really kill you most of the time. As in those in-between phases, there are a bunch of skulls. Now those skulls deal a lot of damage, and go well, maybe not, but they deal good damage. And they go real fast, so it feels like they deal a lot of damage, because they hit you more often than most enemies. Okay, I actually got through that one really fast. Should I do this on hard mode? I mean, if you want me to, I'd be happy to. But I mean, I'm not sure if I'd beat it. Then again, I just annihilated the Beast again. Gotta wait for the boat to return. There we go. Now this is gonna be uncut, so you see everything that I did. Including when I get hit, when I pick up bad items, every bit of commentary, every bit of lack of commentary. So I'm sorry if you get a little bit buried in it. But I can assure you, this is a really fun game. And I'd say that I'm doing pretty well for commentary, but I'm not entirely sure, as I haven't been doing this for too long. And this is my first time actually uploading a video in a while, too. Okay, now just gotta hit the Beast. And then when it returns, just shoot it. 52! Wow! That was really easy. 7.5 hearts. Wow. That's 15 hits left. I'll give you a few minutes to read that if you want. Seconds. It's best if you pause it. Alright. I beat the Beast. Now there's also a New Game Plus. I will not be doing that, but it is pretty fun from what I've heard. Double damage my enemies, whole 9 yards. Alright, I beat it. Third time in a row, actually. The Gatekeeper and the Miner. Yeah, do those two without taking damage. Now let's just see what I get for those 2 achievements, then I'll end off the video. Again, just anything you'd want that I can do in this game, by all means, just let me know, and I will go ahead and play it. Alright. Just go down. There's a lot that I haven't done yet. Let's see. Deep Cut. Deal at least 25 damage with a single strike. That's pretty easy. Alright, let's see. Fall into a pit in each run and still beat the... Alright, Mosquito Bite. Damage the beast for the first time. Sharpened Eagle Tongue. Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, spoils it. Surprise Teeth. Oh, defeated Chest Mimic, I see. Makes sense. Let's see. The Miner, what does that do? Drain Husk. Interesting. And then there's also the Librarian and the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper's what I'm doing. Glowing Spot. Interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing those in my actual runs. Also, the Berserker and the Gambler, I've gotten all of the journal pages for, and I've fought the Gambler's Ghost, meaning I can do the Gambler's Delve. This doesn't get me anything, but it is pretty fun. It makes it to where whenever you defeat a boss, you gain like 3 or 4 relics, but you can't get relics anywhere else. If you want me to do that, by all means I will too. And that pretty much wraps up the video. I'll see you next time, and have fun, and a great day. Goodbye.